Hello, and welcome to another episode of No Small Rolls, a D&D podcast where there are no small rolls and definitely no more frosted cakes for Gwendellyn.
Step away from the cake.
I'm David Knight, your Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by these weary travellers. Say hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Long time on the road.
Back to just our usual cast this week. But shall we get into our second arc of the series?
Oh my God.
No, I'm not ready. I'm going back to the fair.
No. Let's cue the theme tune.
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. Your haggard character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice to roll. This is your story. No guts, no glory. Confront your fate with every roll. Every
rises inside, one who will pay the price. Their chance of success will rest upon the dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Rolls.
So, having discovered Gaius in nothing but his mask and a cravat, he explained that he had found himself in a game of strip card game. That's what you called it.
Oh, there's a merch idea.
And it turned out he was not the most successful player. You were all invited to join and realised that one of the participants, Hilda, actually had Deacon's compass. Deacon proposed a game to win it back and along with Juna and Enkidu proceeded to gamble their possessions and the possibility of removing Gaius's mask. With a little guidance from Juna, Deacon won the game, and when Gaius tried to wander away, he heard the sounds of a murder happening in another room. You all sprang to action and dived in to find Alec Ludder being attacked by the same Hex members who had attacked you all the night before. Taking them out easily, and with Deacon landing the final blow, Hilda suggested that you all leave whilst the guards dealt with the Hex members. Outside, Juna and Orryn approached Gwendellyn with news about Dwayne's lover, who it turned out had also been fooled by the fabulous bard, and was none too happy about it. After dancing the day away, you left Berrien Fields and made your goodbyes to Deacon, turning your attention to the task at hand. So, a few days have passed travelling on the road. Anything you want to do before you reach Vernok Rise?
I do want a charisma check.
Yeah, sure. What are you asking?
I want to ask about Lord Berrien.
Cool. Make a quick charisma check.
Natural 1.
Well, fuck is the answer. What are you doing when you make this? Are you out travelling? Are you resting?
Yeah, I think I'm resting.
Okay. Are you taking watch at the time with anyone?
Yeah, I'm taking watch. I'd like to do this when I'm awake.
If Enkidu's taking watch, I'll take watch with him, but don't necessarily need to be part of this.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
In which case, Juna, what are you doing whilst this watch is happening?
I am going to take a moment to think back to Rwana, who Juna still hasn't really let go of. She's just going to take herself off and sit down and do her meditation that she taught to Gwen, where she sort of cups her hands like a flower in front of her, just sort of goes off on her own, takes the 7 breaths and just sort of thinks of Rwana and what she's doing and if she's alive. Yeah, spend some time just sort of ritualizing coming to peace with Rwana.
As you're sort of taking these 7 breaths, first of all, you hear a small flutter of wings, and you just feel like a very tiny weight on your leg.
So I'm going to open my eyes and have a look.
What kind of bird do you see?
It has to be a raven, I think. We sent a raven off. I think a raven's flown back, and that's what's sitting on my knee.
As you sort of sit there looking at this raven, there are a few impressions that you get. First of all, you don't think that this raven has necessarily flown back. The flutter of wings that you've heard has just been very localized to you. It's not been above you, it's not been anywhere else, it's just been there. And the other thing is that you get the very strong sense that you are somehow connected to this small bird. It sits there. It looks a little bit confused, kind of looks up at you, looks at itself, pecks at its own feathers, and then looks back at you. And then in Ruana's voice, it just says, "Juna, behind you!" Can you, actually, I'll roll this. Whilst you're stood there, suddenly Enkidu, with a sword, comes swinging down for a killing blow. With that little bit of help, though, you manage to just dive out of the way, but you sort of scramble up. And Enkidu is not himself. Physically him, but you can see that there's almost like a shadow across his face, almost as if there is somebody else stood there at the same time that is slowly puppeting him. And he's got a sword out, and he sort of turns his attention to you. What are you doing?
It's Enkidu.
Yeah.
And it's not Enkidu.
You can see that there is something else sort of shrouding his eyes, his face. You can almost see, as his arm raises to strike you again, that a secondary arm sort of like pulls it up.
Oh my god!
Big fan.
Yes! I mean, no, but yes!
I think what Juna would do is like just look like dead into his eyes and hope that, knowing that he has these sort of connections in his brain, I think she's going to just look him dead in the eye and just, not word of radiance, but with a similar intensity, just say, "Enkidu!" Just to sort of try and ground him.
Enkidu, can you make a charisma saving throw, please?
18.
18. So this is a very odd experience for you, but you can feel the bad guy inside of you. As you sort of like reached in to ask and inquire with the voices within, he has taken the opportunity and just wrenched you backwards. And so there is this very odd experience for you in which you're suddenly inside your own head, unable to control yourself. And he's sort of pulled a sword out of nowhere and has gone for Juna. And just in the sheer panic and seeing her in front of you and shouting your name, you just do exactly the same back to him. And it's almost like you have to reach forward, grab him and throw him behind you. And as you do, the experience ends. You are back in control of yourself. You have the sword in your hand. You can move your own body.
Well, the first thing I do, I bamf the sword away, like, no, not that, no.
Enkidu, are you alright?
Are you alright?
Yeah.
What did he do? What did he say?
He didn't say anything, but he tried, whoever you're talking about, tried to make you swing your sword at me.
Fucking hell. I can't. And I just grab her shoulders and like I look in her eyes like, did he hurt you? Are you alright?
I'm absolutely fine, Enkidu. And she sort of like, I imagine like for her to give him some sort of like hug round the shoulders is sort of quite high up, but she tries to sort of be the sort of the one on top in a hug, like as best she can. And sort of just holds him tight.
Enkidu's shitting himself. This moment of tenderness kind of just breaks something in him, and he's blubbing, he's crying. He can't take it. He can't hack it. It's horrible.
Enkidu, is there something we can do to help you?
I don't think so. He just needs to go. He has to get out of there somehow.
Do you know how?
No, I don't even know how he got in. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. I've no answers, no clues. I don't even have a destination in mind. Who would know about what to do? I don't even know anything about him either. I just...
Enkidu, would you like to tell your story, or are you not ready?
I think I need a cup of tea first.
That sounds like a great idea.
Everyone else that's sort of asleep, obviously there's been a bit of chaos. Have any of you woken up?
Would it have set off my alarm spell? Every night I will set up my little alarm perimeter, but what I've done is I've changed it so the bell will ring off only in my head, so it won't wake anybody else up. It'll only wake me up.
Is it only when people pass through the...
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure it would have done then.
No, okay.
Yeah, Enkidu would have been inside the alarm, inside the perimeter, and it's just sort of taken over his body. So yeah, not necessarily.
Cool.
But Juna did say...
She did shout his name.
Enkidu. So.
Yeah, I said Enkidu loud.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
Probably rustling up, just being like...
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, like if any of you do wake up, you just see the two of them having a sort of a gentle hug. Quite a caring hug.
Yeah.
With a very knowing-looking raven.
Just floating about. The raven very much just hopping around Juna, flying up to nearby trees, but then very much staying near Juna.
It's my new familiar.
Does Juna say that?
Find familiar.
That's Juna or Vicky.
That's Vicky.
Gina Vicky.
Vicky's doing a very happy dance right now.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, stay really still, because I think I just saw breakfast. Juna, stay really still.
Guy.
Has anyone got anything that could shoot that bird?
Do you want me to firebolt it?
Let's do it.
Boys.
What?
Do you know who this raven is?
Who the raven
Oh, you
is?
didn't name
It's-
the raven, did you?
I
Juna,
didn't
we've
name-
talked about this. You can't.
I didn't name the raven. This is Ruana.
What?
This is Ruana. I can't tell you how I know, but it is.
I look at the raven.
And Enkidu, just a moment ago, it's Ruana who told me what was happening.
What happened?
She's here, and I have a feeling that she's here to help us through me, and she may be gone, which is the impression I get, but she's not completely gone.
Can I wave to the bird and see how it reacts to me after seeing what she saw?
Is it you or me who?
Well, no, yeah, it's your familiar. You're in
Yeah.
control. I'll just voice her whenever you need to have a conversation.
Oh my God! Have you got a voice? Amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you did
Ruana.
it.
Brilliant. Oh, of course.
You are not welcome here.
That's
I'm
what
just
she
so
says.
excited to find. Like I've wanted one since we started playing.
Oh.
I could take the feat at level 4. Ruana jumps onto Enkidu's arm, just sort of like slowly and gingerly walks up to his shoulder and just sort of nestles its beak on the side of his face in a sort of like, yeah, she saw him swing for Juna, but she kind of understands that it wasn't really him. To make him feel understood.
Oh, I'm gonna slowly like wipe my eye first, and then just gently pat Ruana in the head.
So can the raven actually talk to everyone?
No, only to you, Juna.
Okay. We're just having a cup of twain-tide. Why don't we all sit down? I'll make some tea.
What time is it?
Tea time.
Tea time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I've something important to share.
Juna places the tea in his hand and gives him a tap on the shoulder.
His hands are shaking, grabbing the cup. I've kept it secret for the selfish thought that maybe I was protecting you, or maybe I was just protecting myself and not wanting to get close, but it's come to a part where it's now dangerous. I'm a danger to the group. You should at least know why. Well, I grew up in the streets of Dram, no parents to speak of, and I was taken in by a lady of the night. And she took me back to her establishment, where she lived and worked, and the people were good to me. I didn't have a name, but one day, this man had a king's livery on. Him and his men come by, order of the king, and they slaughter everyone inside. I got out through the chaos and I lived in one of the streets. And then, long story short, I met some friends. Really good friends. We lived and fought and died for each other in those streets, and we made a name for ourselves, Wasn't exactly legit business, but, we survived, we stuck together. My 4 best friends, Gilgamesh, Hina, Cow, and Light. Loads of adventures together. We took over establishments in the city, but we got a bit too successful, if you know what I mean. The Hex came sniffing around and we had to leave. They were dangerous. That's when I look at Gwendellyn and I say, this is my most dangerous secret. At the time when things were getting dangerous, Gilgamesh said that he was a bastard son of King Harish, and that he wants to make a claim for the throne. So, Gilgamesh's mission becomes our own. And by the way, when I say that this man is my king, he is my everything. He's my brother. He is literally a part of my soul. He gave me my name, my birthday. I don't know that. I don't know how old I am. He gave me everything. So yes, we went to Dravain, and Gwendellyn, like you saw, we formed a plan. We snuck into the palace. We spent months on the road training, preparing for it, and we snuck into the palace. We didn't hurt anyone, didn't set off any alarms, and we made our way into the king's bedchamber, where we offered our services. The plan was to make ourselves useful to him, invaluable to him, show him our skills. Our unique aspect of life should give something different for him to use. It wasn't that easy. He allowed us to stay, and he made us trainees with the palace guard. So we spent time training different skills, fighting techniques, histories, languages. We learned all those for 5 years. And then when it time for us to graduate, if you will, we were sent on a training mission towards the Iron Mountains, where we were ambushed by the same man who attacked the brothel I grew up in. I know nothing about this man who sent him after us, why he was after us. I just know his name. Don't know if his last name, code name, soldier name, I don't know. Alcibiades is his name. And he took that big sword and all, 20 of his men that we threw down. In the middle of the fight, some explosion happened. Don't know from whence it came, how it got there. When I woke up, he was gone, my friends were gone, his men were dead, and I had all these voices in my head. After a month of wandering, I ended up in the Lockhart Woods, and now he's inside my head, waiting for his chance. Chances like just now. So I need him gone. I needed him gone yesterday, last week, day before. I need him gone now. I need my friends back. I can't. Yeah.
Whoa, buddy, that's a lot. That's a big life.
Yeah.
Do you know of any way of getting him out that you've heard of?
No. I'm clutching onto anything I can find. Well, there was one disturbing thing. I had a strange conversation with Krell, and without me prompting anything, he knew I had Alcibiades in my head somewhere. He said, "You should let him out. He's really good at killing." I don't know how he knew he was in there, because I can commune with the people inside. No one else can hear them. So I don't know how he knew they were there without me saying anything to him.
Had he seen in some alternate future? Somehow?
He may have. Maybe he saw what just happened now.
Or maybe something in a different timeline triggered him to come out sooner.
Yeah.
Maybe we changed something with the divination table when we smashed it, I don't know.
Yeah. These other things, people, voices in your head, they're your friends?
Yeah, they're my friends, and I somehow gain, I think, some of their abilities. That's why I can't control it. It's why every time I want to use a weapon or a power, something random comes out. I don't have a grip on it. I'm using memories of my time together, fighting with them, learning with them, and that is what gives me strength. I even feel their presence when I use certain of these abilities. It's all new. It's all random. It's so frightening.
They just flash of light, disappeared. You're on your own. They're all in your head.
Yeah.
Nothing left behind. No bodies, no clothing, no anything?
No. Well, I can get their weapons somehow. I don't know if it's their actual weapons or some kind of magical recreation of their weapons. I there's so much I don't know.
When you went on this mission and stuff, like into the mountains and things, how long ago was this?
This is a month before Tillisham.
And you were sent there by the king?
Which
right.
Which king?
Which king? Yeah.
Hang on a minute. You said you've been walking for a month, Enkidu. The king's been passed away for a good 6 years or so.
No, damn it.
Are you sure that it's not been longer?
No, I'm not sure.
So yeah, it's in this moment, Enkidu, that you've heard that the king has been dead for 6 years already by this point, but it's not quite clicked.
Yeah.
Because for you, it has only been a month since that situation. And you have a sudden realization that you don't know what has happened in those 6 years before, since the king died. Or maybe it's longer for you. Who knows?
Oh no.
Enkidu, there will always, if something is possible, there is someone that will understand it. There is someone that can help you. We just need to find the right person. It's not any of us, but we'll find them.
Yeah, we could go like a temple. Some of those holy people, they sprinkle the water on you. They say 5 Hail Marys, and then boom, you're done. So like we could just find one of those people, right?
Yeah, don't know about that.
Who's Mary for a start?
Why are you trying to hail her? Is she a cab? What is this?
Why don't you do some Hail Jennies?
Oh god.
And Jenny moving her way up through the ranks.
She is a
Cobbler,
goddess.
Mayor of Tillisham, God.
That's the
I'm
hierarchy.
starting the social media campaign, Jenny for Mayor.
Jenny for Mayor.
I'm
Jenny for Mayor.
Jenny for God.
on it.
So,
Jenny for God.
Enkidu,
Yes.
so do you mind me asking, you went there with the king's bastard son, is that right?
Yes.
What were you intending to get out of it?
Recognition. You know, you've lived the life we've been, come from a place where we've come from, you want something better for yourself. And once we proved ourselves invaluable to him, you'd see that he'd have that worthy successor. We'd still get to be together and, you know, make a difference somehow. I don't know. We needed to get out of Dram, and this was as good a reason as any to get out of there.
And this Gilgamesh, this son of the king, did he was one of the ones that disappeared, was he?
Yes, he's now with us right now.
Whoa.
Really?
Wow.
Well, he hears everything. Everyone inside me hears everything I hear and sees everything I see.
Wow. They're like Alexa.
Who?
Is that another god?
I know it's just an invention I made once back in my workshop. It didn't work. The privacy was out of control on it. It was a nightmare. I sold one and they just brought it right back.
We're not going to be sponsored by Amazon then, Ben, are we?
Future self, cut that.
Enkidu,
But it was really handy and everyone loved it.
Enkidu, I got a question, which is this Gilgamesh guy. Did he ever tell his pops, like, who he was?
No, it was too dangerous. You gotta think, a royal palace full of people, we were street urchins, you know? Even if we dressed ourselves in finery and educated ourselves in the world and languages, that is still gonna follow us. There are jealous people, nobles with ambition, plotting, rumours. That followed us everywhere we go. We had to keep that absolutely tight until the last, the opportune moment.
Yeah, absolutely, I understand. But he said to you, Gilgamesh, that he wanted to succeed his father. Is that true?
Yes.
To be a legitimate heir?
Yes.
But he just didn't know how to do that, but he wanted to be close to his dad.
Yeah, exactly.
And who else? Did anyone else know who he was?
Oh, snap.
No, it was unknown, just us in the circle, just us 5.
Maybe that's the reason why
And
you got
his mum.
ambushed.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. I know nothing about Alcibiades.
Can
who
I
he
ask?
really works for.
Have I ever heard of Alcibiades? Just in
No, I'm just without rolling. No,
cool.
you wouldn't have done.
Can I roll?
No, like
Okay.
I don't think. No, for all
Cool.
intents and purposes,
Yeah,
he was
like
he
a-
was just like a captain of the King's Guard in some way or other.
Cool.
So yeah, not someone that Juna ever would have.
Had anything to do with?
So, Gilgamesh, where you met him? What, just in Dram? Like, where?
In Dram, on the street.
On the street.
Yeah.
Dram is the capital of Dravain, is it?
No, Dram is a city far to the southern end of Dravain, and is known to be a criminal hotspot.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
Cool. And
Yeah,
but
it's the other side of the Iron Chain.
oh,
Hey,
right.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Vicky is holding up a map to the camera for all of our listeners.
Check out our social media for the map of Elton Pier.
Yeah.
I pronounced that really weirdly. Sorry.
Elton Pier.
Elton Pierre.
Elton Pierre.
John Jr.
That's cool.
And also the map of Dravain, which is also on our social media.
Hell yes.
Very early on, so do scroll right down.
Like everything on the way through.
Yeah.
Why are you there?
Chuck us a like, it doesn't cost you anything.
Wait, it doesn't cost you anything. Who have I been paying all this time?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
no, don't worry. No, keep that bank transfer coming to me, David.
Oh, sure.
Allow
Okay,
me to do the likes.
Amazing.
But in summary, no, you don't know him, Juna.
Cool.
Is that
Thank
where
you.
we're at? Yeah.
I think so. Good luck, editor. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Enkidu.
Yes.
So, who is this Gilgamesh's mother, then?
Just the farmer. Just the elvish farmer. He said she was cast aside because she claimed she had a relationship with the king. No one believed her, or either they wanted to keep it quiet and she was cast aside. She very tough to make it on her own. She wasted away. Gilgamesh ended up on the street.
And if we were able to exercise the bad guy, does that mean that Gilgamesh in your head would go as well? Would you want
don't
that?
know.
Or
I don't know. I don't know if they all exist as one entity or... Well, I can only talk to one... When I reach inside and want to talk to anyone in there, it's only one person at a time. I can't talk to the group.
you can't choose who you
I
gotta talk.
can't choose, no.
That would be helpful. Damn it.
It would be helpful. That's why I try to check in so often, tentatively, because I know what this fucker's like.
Presumably, though, to have your friends there is better than having your friends dead.
Oh, absolutely. It's the only hope I hang on to, that if they're here inside my head and they give me the strength, the company I've had for however long they've been like this.
So we just have to free them, don't we? And then deal with the bad guy once they're all freed.
Yeah.
Are we going to Flawless Vale? Is that where we're going?
You're headed to Vernok Rise.
Vernok Rise, okay.
Flawless Vale was where the mage...
The consortium.
That's like
was
where the
based.
universities and
Consortium
stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Flawless Vale. Flawless Vale is like the it's like the ruling capital of Dravain, but it's not where the king resides. The king resides down in Mervai. But in Flawless Vale, you've got the Lords Assembly, the Arcanists Consortium, all of like the Parliament and like the governance happens in Flawless Vale.
Okay.
But the actual sort of throne is down in Mervai.
It's like if Windsor was the royal seat.
Yeah,
Sort of
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that my father went to study in Flawless Vale. There may be a great deal of people with a lot of learning, perhaps.
Ooh.
The bigger cities we go to, perhaps the more likely we are to find somebody who can help you.
Maybe. True. But it's also why I'm so scared about running into the consortium. They have agendas. Clearly. They don't hide that they have stuff going on. I never dealt with them personally, but I heard whispers. I've seen people like them a lot. And I don't trust them. Not for a second. And I'm quite worried, actually, about being in their pockets.
I suppose we'll find out what it is that we'll be getting involved when when we get to Vernok Rise. It seems like the person that we spoke to wasn't too happy about what the consortium were doing either, so
That's true.
hopefully that'll lead us in the right direction.
Agreed.
Failing all else, there's a place quite far away that I've spent quite a bit of time in called Splinter Falls. And I'll bet if we don't find the answer to your problem anywhere else, we'll find it there.
Splinter Falls.
Splinter Falls.
Splinter Falls.
It's full of magic and wizards and all of that kind of stuff, but it's quite a long way from here, so...
And roughly hewn wood.
Thank you. This is...
There'll be a way. Yeah. There'll be a way. It might take a while, but sometimes we've got to be patient.
Yeah.
If I'm ever feeling stressful, Enkidu, and I need to calm down... I'm sorry, it's what Juna would do. I have to. I can't help myself.
Does she do the butterfly thing?
100%, yeah.
20 breaths.
A little bit of self-care, everyone.
Yeah.
7. It's
Guided
7 breaths.
meditation.
It's
7
very
breaths. Sorry, of course.
important that it's 7 breaths. If I'm ever feeling stressed, Enkidu, and I need time to get back to my thoughts, what I do is I make this flower shape and I sit and I take 7 deep breaths, and it calms me down and clears my mind. I would recommend it, Enkidu.
Thank you.
I have actually, just for you, Vicky, I planned a lesson the other day about self-care for the kids, and I used the flower technique.
Yes.
In one of the techniques, and now we've got it on our wall as one of the techniques we'll do.
Do you know what? Do you know what I'm teaching tomorrow? And the topic of the week is how to deal with anger, and I'm going to teach them flower technique.
You
Thanks,
do it, mate.
Chris. Lesson planning.
So for all of our listeners, you should try it yourselves.
Yeah.
If the kids are learning it, you know it's cool.
And there's a tape available for £45 in our online
Like a
store.
cassette tape.
Hey kids, this eases a demonic voice inside your head that wants to kill your friends.
All 6 of them. Yeah, 6 breaths for 6 demons in your head. Yeah.
Are you hearing voices in your head? Try Juna's meditation technique.
Oh my gosh.
Bit of panpipe in the background.
Absolutely. Played by none other than Guy the Masked Bard.
If we all do it together, does Enkidu calm down, do you think, Darrel? Do you think he because you say he was quite shaky with his tea and stuff?
Yeah, he's really shit up. And especially with the fact that he's just, realised that he's been wandering for years. He's much older than he thought he was now. So, there's a lot to wrestle with here, a lot of new information.
So you all have a cup of tea. Juna leads you through sort of a guided meditation.
Guided meditation.
Some of you find yourselves just drifting back off to sleep as well.
I would definitely like to sleep, please, having done the watch and done some sleep.
Yeah, so you take turns to swap over watch, and the night passes without issue, as does the whole day's travel.
What, you give us a whole day and night without any trouble? Bloody hell.
Without any trouble. I'm being very generous.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
Yeah. And 8 days after leaving Tillisham,
Oh, hello.
you find Vernok Rise. The path has been fairly well trodden, so you've never felt like you didn't know where you're going, and with Gwendolyn's map as well that she purchased,
Oh, yeah.
navigation has been pretty straightforward. You see, perched on a solitary hill that slopes gently up on one side before dropping away sharply on the other, is Vernok Rise, a whole city. There are 3 grey walls that form rings that ascend the city, giving it a stepped appearance as it slopes upwards. And the last wall, you can see even from a distance, surrounds a castle that sits on the summit like a formidable cake topper. It's just sort of like perched there, but all grey and dark. As you approach, you find the gates are wide open, and every building in the city is decorated with bouquets of white, yellow, and lilacs flowers, giving the entire city a very flowery aroma.
Juna will love it.
There are quite a few people out, it's bustling everywhere, and you get the impression that there is some kind of celebration or festival, because there's dancing in the streets, there is people playing games. Like I say, everything is decorated in these flowers. People are walking along, passing out flowers to each other. And it's just a very joyous, happy feeling in the town. Unlike the rally. The rally was very much like, way, let's get drunk and drugged up. This feels like a city in the throes of a festival.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Well, it appears we've arrived in time.
We certainly have. This is thrilling. I've never been somewhere this big before, and to arrive during something like this, wow. Oh, I wonder. Can I get you? Can I have some flowers, please? She asked the passerby.
Yeah, and a passerby, like, sort of with the little basket, just sort of hands one yellow, one white, and one lilac to you, and says, "Happy Heart of Spring," and carries on.
Thank you. Happy Harvest Spring. What? I didn't quite catch it.
So he carries on walking, turns around, and is like, "The Heart of Spring."
Oh, the Heart of Spring.
Oh.
Thank you. Happy Heart of Spring to you too. Oh.
Luck bring his blessings. And sort of carries on, skipping away.
Luck bring his blessings.
Bring his blessings.
Luck bring his blessings.
No, luck bringers blessings.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
They're hard to understand the dialect in this particular song.
Yeah, it's a tricky
Finding
one.
this place really weird.
I wonder if we want to keep a relatively low profile,
Yeah, I think so.
as we're kind of on a bit of a secret trip, aren't we?
It seems everyone's quite distracted by all the flowers and
Yeah.
general.
That's
We'll
true.
draw more
Merriment.
attention if we don't blend in and join in. Perhaps.
Yeah.
The people who aren't joining in always stick out, don't they?
Absolutely. They don't seem like they settled in. They don't seem like they're locals. I think we should go out and paint the town red.
And yellow, and lilac, and cream.
Okay,
And orange and violet and scarlet.
I mean, are we on a bit of a deadline to meet this?
I mean, the day is today, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we are just in time, actually. Yeah.
Well, let's go. Let's where was it we were going? To a particular tavern, wasn't it?
Asherwin Rose?
Oh my gosh, can't
Study?
read my writing.
He's got a study in the Ashwing. I wrote this down.
In the Ashwing district.
I didn't write it down.
Ashwing District.
Yeah. Vernok Rise, 8-day Heart of Spring. Illusion.
He was an illusion. When it appeared to you.
Oh, yes. He said come at the Heart of Spring in a northeasterly direction to the Ashwing district.
Yeah, where he's got a study.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to find out where the Ashwing District is.
Yes.
I look around for a sign.
I help him.
One of you make an investigation check with advantage.
Go for it.
Yeah? Okay. Natural 19 for a 26.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As you look up, there's a sign.
I'm kind of hoping there's one of those vending machines where you can put in a silver piece and get a map out the bottom.
I mean, if you're looking for a map, there's definitely a little map seller. But the city itself, as you sort of walked in, is actually laid out very straightforward. There is a central path that leads up from the first gate right the way up to the castle at the top. And then you basically pass through 3 walls to get to that castle. The signs mark the districts in the lower ward as the craft quarter and the labour quarter to your left and right. And then another sign does point up to the second ward with signs to the left saying Ashwing District and to the right saying Dawn View. And then finally, you notice a sign that points up to the castle itself, which is marked as Vernok Hall.
David, is there any bakeries or any baked goods nearby?
Make an investigation check.
14.
14. Yes, yeah, you do find a sort of a stall selling baked goods. You can tell that they've sort of just been brought in from a bakery a little further off, but they've brought it to the main street.
Cool. I just want to be really quick, guys. Guys, I'll be just 1 second. I just want to go and check. I'm just going to poke my head and go, hello there, do you have any small rolls?
No, we got no small rolls here. We got some bigger ones if you want a bigger roll.
No, okay. I was just checking. I'll go back to my friends. Have a good day.
Oh my gosh, you did it.
Well, there's the episode title. No Small Rolls, episode 18, No Small Rolls.
Oh, brilliant.
Grace here, keeping you updated with all things No Small Rolls related. I am thrilled to tell you that we are finally launching our Patreon this week. For those of you who haven't heard of Patreon before, it's a service that allows you to provide monthly financial support to your favourite content creators. So, if you'd like to support No Small Roles, you can do so from as little as £3 a month. We have 3 levels of subscription to choose from. You can either have the teacup, the teapot, or the tea caddy. Each of these levels will give you access to some fabulous perks, so look out and listen out for the details when we launch them this week. If you'd like to support us in other ways, you can drop us a review on iTunes or Podchaser. And of course, you can share the No Small Roles love with your friends, family, and on social media. Find us at No Small Roles on Instagram and Twitter, and just search for us on Facebook, No Small Roles. Roles spelt ROLLS. If you're listening to this on the day of release, don't forget that Ben and Vicky will still be causing festive havoc in a Chris Mess carol, mess spelt MESS, on Zoom on the 21st and 22nd of December. The show features music by our very own David Knight and will commence at 7:30 GMT. Tickets can be purchased on Design My Night. Check out the show notes for a link to this production. That's all from me for now. Let's get you back to Vernok Rise.
Bring it back round to Orryn's investigation. So yes, the Ashwing district you find out is in the second ward, so it's beyond 2 walls. The outer wall, an inner wall, and the Ashwing district is on the left.
And we're still in the outer bit at the moment.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll explain to the others where I think the Ashwing district is. So I think we need to head inside. Yeah. I don't know if these districts are all just going to be open or whether we can just let ourselves in or quite how it's going to work.
So you start moving up toward the next ward, as it were?
Yeah.
As we go, Gwendolyn's trying to get, kind of taking any flowers that are handed to her and just making sure everybody in the group has some flowers, just because she's just so excited to see flowers and just be somewhere that's jolly again, really.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Does this look like a prosperous city? Yeah, it's having a festival, so everything looks its best. But do people look prosperous here? Or
make an insight check.
Oh gosh, my favourite. That -1, baby. So that's a 3.
3. It's hard to tell because it, like you say, because it is so decorated. Yeah, it's hard to tell, and people have almost dressed up in their best clothes to join in the celebration. So yeah, it is hard to say how prosperous or full of poverty it might be.
Right.
David, can I check something out of game for a second? Because when the guy illusioned up, what was it that he said?
So he said to come and meet him in the Ashwing district of Vernok Rise in 8 days on the Heart of Spring festival.
Yep.
Because he could be there essentially undercover in his study. And he is worried that there is a conspiracy in the Arcanist Consortium.
He said they're trying to hide something.
To do with the fact that they're covering up Sir Velt's involvement with stuff that he thinks is connected to something larger.
He said something else, though.
About a gnome.
About a gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said there are other concerned parties, one of whom is a gnome.
Did he give a name?
No.
Nope.
Cool, I just wanted to check that before.
Just the word gnome was enough to make you go, I'll do it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And all of us go, great, we will too.
We'll do what Juna says.
Cool, I just wanted to check that before we get into sort of what we're doing. Cool, thank you.
So we're just having the poverty conversation. Yep, so you make your way to the inner wall. What you notice is that whilst the gates are thrown open here, there is a very big sign that says, admittance to this ward will rescind for uninvited peoples at the end of the celebration.
Is that the wall going into the Ashwing district and the Dawn View?
Exactly.
Cool. Okay. So
yeah, the impression that you get is that you've got till the end of the day to...
And that's why he's asked us to go... before we do, what is the makeup of the city?
It's a sort of fairly classic Dravanian sort of populace. There's a mixture of half-elves, half-orcs and humans roaming.
Cool.
Of all different colours and interestingly, there's this being a much bigger city compared to Tillisham. There is a little bit more of, how to say, a fashionable choice going on here.
Yeah.
There is a bigger variety of different hair colours, for instance. There's different varieties of states of dress. Even with people dressing up, the fashion choices are sticking out just that little bit more than they ever were in Tillisham. As you pass through to the second ward, you do notice that this area does feel much more prosperous than the lower ward that you just passed through. Whilst the lower ward has sort of a slight cramped feeling to it, this area feels slightly more spread out. The buildings look a little bit older, and you get the impression that maybe the castle was built earlier and this was the original town. You head into the Ashwing district to your left. Does anyone want to make an investigation check to find the study?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will. Unless you want to.
I will help Juna.
Go.
Cool, roll with advantage.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Unnatural 20.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice.
Thank you, Gwen, for that help. Boy, it made all the difference.
Yeah.
When pointing out signs.
Yeah.
And flowers.
And yeah, it's partly with Gwendolyn, like, sort of collecting flowers from different people as she moves through.
I've just
and even
realised the
passing-
frosting's worn off.
Yes.
And we still haven't told her about Dwayne's boyfriend.
Oh, I remember everything.
Oh, do you remember
Yeah,
everything?
She does.
No, but you weren't part of that conversation.
Yeah,
Oh.
you weren't part of the conversation
Oh,
we've
no.
subsequently had.
So we must remember at some point, Orryn,
Yeah, don't worry.
to discuss that.
I remembered earlier, but given we had Enkidu stuff, I shelved it for the moment.
Yeah. I completely forgot about it till just now.
It's all right. She's been recovering and stuff. She's not been ready time to tell
Yeah,
her.
there has been a lot going on, hasn't there?
Yeah, the two of you have this conversation as she's handing out flowers to passers-by. She's got too many by this point. And it's in like a brief conversation with someone that you ask for Heron Ilwyn's study, and you are pointed to his family house. It's a very nice home. It's 3 stories high, quite large, really, as you walk up to it. It's not gated, it's just a door straight out onto the street, a nice cobbled street, but there are some very nice flower boxes that are kept along the front of it.
Oh, look, you can get more flowers, Gwen.
I'm not sure these are for picking.
Who's knocking on the door?
I will.
Yeah.
Don't have to, but yeah, Juna can go up and...
There's a brief moment. The door swings open, and there's an old chestnut-skinned half-elf opens the door.
Is he played by Ian McKellen, by any
Ian
chance?
McKellen. And he's dressed very well, but clearly in serving gear. And he says, "Hello,
Hello.
can I help you at all?"
Yeah, we're here to see Heron Ilwyn. He called for us.
Oh, did he?
Mhm.
And you are?
Friends.
I don't mean to be rude, my dear. He has many friends. Who may I say you are to him?
We met in Tillisham.
I'm Juna.
Ah,
He'll know.
Juna met in Tillisham. Okay. Closes the door straight in your face. There's a brief moment. He wanders off, comes back again, opens the door, says, "Yes, he is expecting you. If you'll just come and join me in the study." And sort of leads you all into a little sitting room. It's a very cozy space. Much smaller room than you'd imagine in a house like this. But there's enough chairs for all of you. A couple of little bookshelves. And as you all sit down, the butler sort of is, "Would anybody care for some tea?"
Have you got any twain tied?
"Oh, no, we've got some dragon barley."
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, we'll give that a go.
Have you got anything
Yeah.
a little stronger?
Stronger?
Yeah, like booze.
Oh, well, yes, I suppose.
Yeah, some of that will be nice as well, along with the tea. Thank you very much, good sir.
Ale or wine?
Wine, not.
So ale,
Yeah, okay, sure.
not wine, ale. Okay.
You have a really weird way of asking for drinks, guys. Anyone ever told you that?
I thought he'd get the pun, but then he didn't, so.
So he wanders off again, and it's you've got about 5 minutes or so sat alone in this sitting room.
I'm looking at the books on the shelves.
What does the tea taste like?
We've not brought it back yet.
Okay.
Make an investigation check on the bookshelf, Orryn.
Yeah. 18.
18. It's largely a collection of basic magic books. And even even though these are kept very well, you recognize a few of the titles yourself, and they're things that you have read and studied. But they are kind of beginner's guides, as it were.
Okay.
Is anyone doing anything else in the sitting room?
yeah, and Enkidu's still a bit shook up from the other week. Keeping track of time,
Or was
baby.
it 6 years ago?
Oh, no. He's just sitting quietly.
I think Juna's just sort of sitting with Rowana, giving her a bit of a sort of stroke and letting her hop about her.
She's still sort of getting used to the animal form. She seems quite happy.
Good.
Surprised, but happy.
Good. Juna sort of doesn't tell her, but kind of gives her the idea that she's going to treat her respectfully and take care of her animal form.
Oh, as in like
Yeah.
For a moment, I was like, "You're gonna kill her?" Take care of her.
Literally, take care of her.
Like genuinely look after. Yeah. You can tell that she's quite appreciative of that. So after a while, the butler comes back in. The tray, it's a wobbly tray. Puts it down, and there is like
he's
a small.
transformed into Victoria Wood in 2 seconds.
Very wobbly.
And yeah, he lays it down. There's a kettle, and he pours out a little cup for each of you. Pours a bottle of ale in a slightly larger mug for Gaius. He goes, "My master will be here shortly. Please continue relaxing." And sort of wanders off again.
What does the tea taste like?
It's if anybody's ever tried a barley tea, it's a sort of nutty, smoky flavour to it.
Cool.
Do you have it with anything? Do you have it with milk or lemon, or just have it black?
He's just poured it plain for you, and there's no milk on the tray.
Okay.
There are a few little biscuits that he's also bought out.
Oh, Juna's going to definitely split one with Rowana.
I think I'll skip the biscuits for now.
Enkidu has a biscuit.
How are you feeling, Gwen? Do you feel recovered from your frosting experience?
I think so. Yes. I know it wasn't really something I chose to happen, but I think I might have needed it.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Not something I would make a habit of course. I wouldn't, but
Life experience is good, Gwen.
absolutely. And I think I'm trying to learn to have a bit more perspective on things. I think I've lived a much smaller life than most of you. I'm still catching up, I think.
In swathes.
Well, I'll go as quick as I can, or that seems right, I suppose. Enkidu, I really appreciate you sharing what you shared with us.
I just nod and just kind of just sink into myself a bit.
Gwendellyn, make sure that he has some flowers as well. Just in case you need them to stay undercover. I know how you like to stay undercover.
I kind of tuck it between my shirt and my breastplate.
Yeah.
That looks very charming.
Doesn't know what to do with the flowers. And like, this is the second time. What does this mean?
Gwendolyn keeps passing him flowers.
It's covered in flowers.
I could just hear while we've been in this house, just a grandfather clock silently, like solitary, like clicking. We're just in a room with just a grandfather clock waiting.
Yeah.
Whilst we're all relaxing for a moment, Heron does appear in the doorway. Sort of ash grey, half-orc, short blonde hair, brass-rimmed spectacles. And he seems quite pleased to see you all. Sort of, he gives you a smile. Yes, hello. Wonderful to see you again in person. Sorry about the whole interrogation thing that happened.
Yeah, that was unpleasant.
Yes, it was. But unfortunately, a necessary part of the Arcanist Consortium work. So, I think it all went well, though.
Yeah? For who?
Yeah.
Us or you?
For all of us. Again, I should probably reintroduce myself. I'm Heron. Again, obviously, I remember your names. But the work involved, sometimes the Arcanists can be much more forceful, shall we say.
Yes.
And Arcanist Zerevir seemed to be quite pleased with your responses and your attitudes towards the situation, so it's very rare for that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Which brings us to why you've called us here.
Well, whilst I was speaking with you, I was doing my own look, shall we say, at your personalities and your trustworthiness, and I think I might need some of your help in An investigation of sorts.
What kind of investigation?
So, to put it plainly, I think, in my mind, the Arcanist Consortium is built on a rotten foundation. And they are protecting that. And from what little I have been able to gather about the situation, I don't think it's something that should be protected.
What makes you think that?
Well, at the smallest connection, for instance, Kralavin Servelt was a founding member of the Arcanist Consortium.
Oh, buddy knew it.
And if they are trying to keep his continued existence a secret, then I am sure they're protecting something much worse.
Juna clutches the bony finger that Deacon gave her back and is really glad she's still got it with her to prove to them that he still is dead.
So, a bunch of old mages decide to, I don't know, have power to themselves and hold on to it for as long as possible. Now, if Crow was still alive and able to wreak as much havoc as he was, are there other surviving founders?
Not to my knowledge, exactly, but what can be surmised about the founders is that, well, a lot of their life has been put under lock and key, shall we say. The records are there that they helped found it. They were part of the expedition and the signing of the accords. They helped prepare the documents, and apart from that, there is very little evidence of their work, of their continued work.
Who were the other founder members, or is that under lock and key?
No, that we know. Their names are kept, their names are shared, they're written in the history books, but to be honest, the Arcanist Consortium had a much more prosperous time after the founding, so once those were gone, they were swept under the carpet.
Just out of interest, how many founding members were there?
7, all told.
7?
Including the first king.
Oh.
Okay, so what's this got to do with us then?
Well, as I am a fledgling member of the Arcanist Consortium, I can't make too many waves without prying eyes. And so I was rather hoping that I could send you off to be my researchers, for want of a better word.
Because we're expendable.
Yes.
Not expendable. You are less looked upon, shall we say. Much more covert than I could ever be.
Stealthy.
We are very good at that.
Yes.
Yeah. As Guy says, though, what's in it for us, though?
Yeah, why should we stick out our necks for a dodgy establishment? But why the hell should we care?
I could pay you.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm sold.
Payment, of course, can be negotiated. Where I'm sending you, beyond anything of intellectual value, you're welcome to keep what you find.
Where are you planning on sending us?
Hopefully a great many places. Flourishes his hand, and there is a small map that appears.
It's a neat trick.
Thank you. He passes it over to you, Orryn. And what you see is a map of Dravain, with 3 locations that are marked on it, each with a little note of their own. The first one, to the south, between Port Calera and Argent, is a note that reads... Ben's just putting this down. Yeah.
I need a copy of that.
I've already found it, Ben.
You got it. So yeah, on the southern coast, between Port Calera and Argent, is a note that reads, Tower on the coast only seen by moonlight. Possible connection to Archmagus Bruthus Lister, who resided nearby.
Nice.
There's another note. To the east, nestled among the Folosian hills, is a note that reads, Archmagus Geromir Hastan, said to have wandered into the hills before disappearing entirely. And then finally, to the north of your location, in the golden forest of the Lake Ward, is a note that reads, descendants of Archmagus Erida Wingthrup fiercely claim the eastern edge of the forest, likely hiding something there.
This is what I've written in my notes.
Get notes from Ben.
Get those from Ben.
Yeah, get us right.
Yeah, so these 3 locations are marked on the map, and Heron says, "If you could investigate any or all of these, that would be of remarkable help to me."
Who are these people? Like, were they members of the...
3 members of the founding members of the consortium that we have managed to uncover some information about. A colleague of mine has travelled a fair amount and pieced these things together. And especially seeing how you all have dealt with another founding member, Savelt, well, hopefully you'll be able to do much the same with these 3.
Do you know the nature of their relationship when they were serving together? Did they get on? Did they work to collaborate? We know that Crowd did not like to collaborate and wanted to keep things to himself.
I don't know. Beyond working together in the time before the Accords, very little is known about them. All of them were renowned to be impressive spellcasters in their own right. Again, in the time before Dravane was formed, they were the preeminent mages. And some of them, or at least mages at the time, were not always kind, shall we say.
You want us to deal with them the same way we dealt with Kralevin Savelt?
I want you to investigate, learn what you can. If it has some connection to what the consortium are trying to hide, then bring that news back to me.
Okay, so we're just going and, like...
I don't expect any of them to be alive. It's quite a surprise that Savelt was.
So you're just expecting us to go and, like, be your eyes and ears, nothing else, not get our hands dirty, just eyes and ears.
Exactly. Learn what you can, come back to me with any news.
That sounds okay.
It's all very well you offering us money, but for some of us, she shoots a look at Enkidu, it's not money that we're after, it's knowledge, magic, that sort of stuff.
I'm sure I can assist in anything that you need.
Yeah.
If you're willing to help me, I, from the sounds of it, you are. It's just payment we're talking about now.
And equipment, because we don't know what we're getting into here.
That's true.
Well, again, I can offer some funds for you to arm yourselves in the best ways possible. I myself have very little in the ways of arm. I myself have very little in the ways of an armory, but like I say, as part of our contract, as it were, I'm very happy to fund you in this endeavour.
Well, it's nice to have a rich patron.
Yeah. You mentioned that this affects other people. You mentioned a gnome.
Yes, a fellow academic of mine. He's the one who supplied the map.
This map?
Yes.
And how does this affect him or her or they?
Him? I don't know. He has his own pursuits, his own interests, and I'm sure just as I asked him for advice, he came back with this.
Could we talk to him before we go? If we're deciding to do this?
He's not in the city, but I can certainly send word. As I say, he travels a fair amount, so I'm not sure where he would possibly be at this time, but word could be sent to him, surely.
It'd be nice to just to get his view on all of this.
Yes, understand.
If he's making the maps and stuff.
Heron, you seem to have got back here remarkably fast. I'm assuming you didn't go for a stroll down the road for 8 days.
No.
You've got other ways of travel?
Yes, I have a teleportation circle in the house.
Would you be able to assist us getting to one of these locations slightly faster?
Oh, good point, Ben. Well done.
Oh, certainly, yes.
Yes.
Although that would slightly scupper the whole being covert situation.
Oh, they've got ways of detecting who goes through them, have they?
Well, more the places that I would send you are places that the consortium would use.
No.
See, yeah, we turn up in the middle of an arcane study.
Exactly.
Are there places nearer we could go to, or is that a no-go as well? So not the actual places, but just giving us a bit of a...
I think...
Well, no, I think that is the trouble with With
is it
teleportation
all of-
circles. Yes, the ones I'm aware of.
Sorry, that is Vicky's problem, not Juna's.
So these 3 archmages, these were 3 of the founding members.
Mhm.
You've got some info on where they were last seen, basically, or what they were last seen getting up to?
Exactly.
And how long ago did any of these mages last get seen?
Between 500 and 600 years ago.
Wow.
Not long after the signing of the Accords, they all seem to slowly fade from public view.
Huh.
And whilst some of these, I'm sure, might put you in some path or some answers for why they disappeared, hopefully some of them are just their studies, their own secluded workspaces. And that in itself will hopefully offer some answers.
You just want us to go and sniff out information from their place, try and figure out what they were thinking when they founded the place? Is that the idea, Heron?
Yes, and what the current consortium are protecting
that information.
There is a conspiracy of sorts. There is some very definite moves to keep some information, or to destroy information, to keep it secret, covered up, that the High Circle themselves are very much involved in. So I just want to be sure, and other concerned parties just want to be sure that it is nothing nefarious.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
To be appointed an Archmagus, I assume that you produce or achieve something magical of worthy note and you are raised to that status, right?
Yes.
Did each member of the consortium have a school of magic they were particularly keen on? For example, Crow was keen on necromancy. Did each of the consortium have a particular school of magic they were fond of?
Many of them had some fame in a stronger school of magic, but I do believe that their disciplines were mixed amongst them. Bruthas, for instance, to the south, he was known to be an illusionist of sorts, possibly why his tower is only seen by moonlight.
And Enkidu, if you remember as well, with Crow, he was interested in necromancy, but I would say he's also pretty fascinated by divination.
We're just going to confer as a group, sir.
Of course. I won't be able to speak to you again for the rest of the day. Not to draw any attention.
How do we get in touch?
If you need to send word, just send a letter here, and Nurum, my butler, will pass it on to me in good stead, and we can organise a meeting. Otherwise, if we are in some agreement, I can give you funds now.
Well, just give us like a few minutes just to discuss. It's quite a big decision, and we haven't had everyone's opinion yet.
Oh, yes. Oh, in which case, I'll just leave the room.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank you very much.
Yes, cheers.
Heron, sorry, one final quick question, if I may. The mages. Do you know if any of them, the original mages, did you come across any connection to Miraf or Sol Miraf in your readings?
No. And he turns and leaves the room.
I was about to insight check him.
Yeah, I should have thought to do that.
Well, I'll be back in a bit.
Somarath. Hello.
So, it sounds legit from what I gather.
I'm up for it. Basically, I'm up for it if everyone else is.
It's paid work, and we're not being told to go anywhere, do anything too dangerous. Obviously, that won't be what maybe happens, but the briefing is just to go and be the eyes and ears and see if anything's unusual and report back to him.
And it certainly might be a way of helping us to find more important people who can help Enkidu. And I mean, we were already kind of tangled up with it already. Maybe our skills are just what they need.
I feel like getting to the bottom of exactly what's going on in this consortium can't be bad.
Yeah. Guy's going to nod along and go, yeah, absolutely, I agree. I think I can see that Enkidu, you still don't trust the guy, and I don't think we need to trust him, but I think we understand that what he's asking us to do, and it's like It's like these guys say, we're sort of in the thick of it already. It's might as well, you know, he owes us a favour if we do this. I mean, he's paying us, but at the same time, he might owe us a favour.
Yeah.
And that might help you in your situation. Should be good.
Begrudgingly, yes, that seems to be the case. But at the same time, I know that these are the people I least want to be involved with in the whole world. They are the people I probably need to be closer to the most. And they are sending us, or he is sending us towards the most dangerous people in Dravanian history, potentially.
Who were probably dead.
Highly
Probably
likely.
dead. What are the chances that one of the people on the list was that fucking thing in the mirror room in Kraus Tower?
Concerning me, it's why I asked how many founding members there were.
Yes.
And the answer that I got back, I think, has cemented that theory a little bit. I don't know what cement is, but I've just invented it. But
Cement exists in this world.
They must have cement.
Yeah, they've got buildings and stuff.
There was 3 mirrors, wasn't there?
There were
5.
5 mirrors. There were 3 smashed mirrors. There was one with the weird eyeball, and there was one that said, "Do not trust." So I'm thinking there are 5 mirrors, plus Krell,
And the king.
plus the king, equals 7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I might just be barking up a wrong tree on that.
For enough money and with a potential to see Enkidu freed of his demons, I think Guy would agree that it's worth checking out and pulling that thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gwen,
Somebody's got
how
to.
do you feel?
Yeah.
Well, I don't see why not. I think
Yeah.
we're never going to be able to trust anybody fully. As long as we can start to learn to trust each other, then we've shown the signs of being a good team, and I feel like we're now all talking and being a bit more open with each other. I'm kind of game for the adventure.
I turned sharply to Gwendolyn. I'm like, "Are you sure you're ready? Like, there could be more death, more killing."
I think, for me, so long as the killing is justified, I'm willing to do it. I just want to know that I can trust you all, really, and that we're on the same side.
I see. Okay.
Chance to poke around 3 creepy old mages' studies. That doesn't come along every day.
The amount of books you might find, Orryn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep them away from Enkidu, yeah?
No burning.
No burning this time, Enkidu.
I'm guessing
start
that
to walk
wasn't
out
your
the
fault, though.
There's definitely going to be some tales worthy of songs from this, so yeah, I'm game. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, he can't talk to us for the rest of the day now, dude.
No,
We just went
he's
out
only
to the
left the
corridor.
room.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like that really got missed, that lovely Gwen moment.
what bit, sorry?
Well, she said, "I'm sure that wasn't like you to Enkidu."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Then he was like,
It was
I
so
can't take it.
sweet.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must have been the other guy.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Spoilers. It was me.
She doesn't know that.
Never
Does she know
know.
that
Never
shit?
know.
But one of you goes and gets Heron and informs him of your decision. The offered amount of gold is 150 each. Which obviously includes some money for you to go and sort of prepare yourself for the journey.
Okay.
But 150 gold each, with a slight promise of maybe more when you return with news.
We're getting 150 up front.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he trusts us.
we
even
could
if we
just
don't
die
trust
with
him.
this money, you know.
Is he literally just giving us each 150 gold?
Yeah.
Orryn just sort of sits down on whatever the floor is.
Yeah, like the butler
It's like-
brings it in like separate pouches as well. So it's literally a bag of 150 gold is plonked down in front of Orryn.
Whoa.
How heavy is that?
It's not as heavy as you'd think. A little bit heavy, but not so much.
Cool.
Carryable.
Whoa.
Now, I think business is concluded, yes?
Okay.
As I said, once you return with news, please send note to Nurum, and he will pass news on to me, and I will then contact you. A roundabout way, yes, but at least it will keep things secret.
Yeah.
Is there any other business between us?
Do you have any good recommendations of lodging during the festival?
Oh, yes, I would head down to Drake's in the lower quarter, the lower ward.
Drake's it is.
Lovely. And
Yes.
do send Kieda our way if you hear from them.
Kida.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. Yes, I'll be in contact with him.
Great.
And just so...
And I don't mean to be rude.
Hmm.
Are all gnomes just old?
Oh.
That is a little bit rude. No, not all of us.
I'm sorry.
It's just because we do age to a ripe old age.
Well, yes.
There's just more of us that are 200 years old than most other folks. That's all.
I see. Right.
If you were up in Silmarath, you'd be seeing children and young'uns all over the place.
Oh, well. Yes. In which case, if you would all kindly leave, I have work to get to. If you're staying for the festival, I would suggest you buy a gift for each other.
What?
The goddess is quite unhappy if you don't give a gift today.
To someone else?
Yes.
Which goddess? This is very exciting.
The Dreamweaver, Luckbringer, Lady of the Wilds, Sylvain.
Oh, big fan. Big fan of that lady.
Well, yes, but truthfully, you should give a gift.
All right, well, Gwen's already done that, I guess, so we have to follow suit.
Fine. Okay.
Cheers.
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 Can I take one last look at him and then go out and follow the others?
Do people often just give out 150 gold?
Not that I'm aware.
No.
Not normally before the deed is done.
Well,
I mean,
Orryn,
what's to stop us just going?
nothing. That's the whole point. You received the payment up front on the shared agreement and awareness that the thing you're about to undertake has a lot of risk and that you shall be rewarded much more for when the task is complete. Now, this...
More than this?
Substantially. And think what we will gain on the journey to complete this job.
Yeah, but how does he have this much gold?
He works for the consortium. They effectively control the kingdom. His pockets are unlimited.
They are moneybags, magic.
Or it's a lot more dangerous than he's letting on, or he's much more desperate than he's letting on.
Yeah, true.
But he's just given out like 750 gold.
I kind of get my hands on his shoulders and just give it a squeeze and like, I know what this feels like. You have to accept that this is yours. It's probably, am I right in guessing, I lower my voice, like more than you've seen at one go, right?
Just a bit.
Well, you're much smarter than I am. You'll put it to good use. So just hold on to it. Don't spend it straight away. Just keep it safe. Stare at it, go to bed with it, I don't know. But it's yours. You know, it's real. You can have it. You deserve it. Just let him go.
Enkidu's the worst enabler on payday.
Spend it!
You do you, buddy.
Don't spend it. Like, you just hold on to that. You know?
Yeah.
And as you all make your way out of Heron's house, Ilwyn Manor, you head back round toward the lower ward, with Orryn just feeling the very, very nice weight of a bag of gold in his hand. And that's where we're in tonight's episode.
Nice.
We gotta go buy presents.
Yeah.
You have to go buy presents.
That's
Yay.
nice. That's
or the goddess
nice.
will come for you.
Do we do Secret Goddess?
Yeah.
I was just thinking of a play on Secret Santa. Secret Goddess is perfect.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orryn, Chris Watts as Gaius, Darrel Bailey as Enkidu, Grace Kelly Miller as Gwendellyn, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight. Please tell your friends, subscribe, and follow us on all the social media. Thank you for listening to